What do you do when your battle chooses you? What do you do when something shows up on your doorstep that you did not directly cause, choose, or definitely anticipate?
Life is not always easy. In fact, some of you today, you're here and you're going through the toughest season of your life. There will be seasons where we will suffer. There will be seasons of real pain. And the question is, how will you respond in those moments?
Very, very important for people to realize. We're all going to go through difficult times. The hard times never stop coming. The only way that we can truly move through life is by continuing to progress, continuing to get better, continuing to become a better version of ourselves, and continuing to help other people become better versions of themselves. And this will make these things much easier to deal with over the course of time.
Life will knock you down. Okay, that's life. It's not about avoiding the hits, but about bouncing back stronger each time. They say if you get hit, then land on your back. Because if you can look up, then you can get up. And if you can get up after setbacks, then nothing in life can ruin you.
At some point, your life is going to get hard. You're not going to see a way out. Everything that can happen will happen. You'll be devastated. You'll be distraught. And you'll think, this is it for me. This is the end. But in that moment, you'll have a choice. You can either stay down or you can get up and fight. One more time. If you can pull yourself together and go at it again, you can get through it. You will get through it. You just got to decide that you're not going to quit.
You have to understand about life is it's fucking hard and it's meant to be. It's the assumption that life is meant to be easy. It's not. It's meant to be fucking hard. And guess what? When you do hard things, you have an easier life. When you do easy things, you have a harder life.
Life gets very hard very fast, 25 to 45. And if you're unhappy or feel unhappy at times, that is normal. That's part of the journey. And for me, it was helpful to read that because I'm looking forward to all the happiness that's kind of coming my way, and I can feel it as you get older. You just start finding joy in weird places.
Life is hard sometimes. Easy, it's not an option. But it's worth fighting. It's worth believing. It's worth giving yourself a chance. It's worth mustering yourself up, standing up inside yourself. It's worth fighting relentlessly, never giving up. It's worth it. You can do it. You can do it.
There's problems that we go through that cause stress, worry, anxiety, and fear. But you might be in the battle of your life. I want to encourage you. It's not about what's happening around you. It's always about what's happening inside of you.
Just because you feel afraid doesn't mean you have to be afraid. Just because you feel discouraged doesn't mean you have to be discouraged. Just because you have fear doesn't mean fear has to have you.
The sentence out of your mouth is a story that you are putting out. I'm not going to make it. I quit. Let's get a divorce. Business is never coming back. We've lost too many people. I've made too many mistakes. I'm a failure. Nobody can help me. I've done too many bad things. I don't know what's coming out of your mouth, but it's a death sentence. And as you continue to confess it and as you continue to declare it, well, don't be surprised when it becomes true in your life. We have to make sure that whenever I think a death sentence, I must speak a life sentence. Oh, I'm feeling the sentence of death. I'm feeling the thoughts of anxiety. I'm feeling the thoughts that I'm done. I've used and it hurts and it's difficult. But when that happens, I start speaking out a life sentence. No, I'm just going to keep showing up. No, I'm going to get back up. The righteous man, he falls 7 times, but he gets back up.
Never give up. Never give in. Because skill can't get you past certain things. Quickness, agility can't get you. You gotta have mental toughness. Pain ain't permanent. Your pain ain't permanent. You can get through this. You bigger than your pain. You better than that.
Come on, you need to remember, this is not the first time you cried. This is not the first time you were short of breath. This is not the first time you didn't see a way clear. This is not the first time you were hurt. This is not the first time your heart was broken. This is not the first time you didn't have enough money. This is not the first diagnosis that came up from behind.
Say, I'm going to live to tell the story. This too shall pass. I will remain. I'm not going to quit. Every one of my burdens, there's a blessing on the inside of it. If you don't quit, you will win, baby.
You're going to work through this. You're going to get up. You're going to get dressed. You're going to get out. And you're going to do what you've been called to do. You're going to be what you called to be. And you're going to prove that everybody that tried to break you, everybody that tried to stop you, everybody that tried to kill your dream, you're going to prove all of them wrong.
Just keep coming back. If you got nothing left to give, just show back up. Hassel's life, man, is just showing up.
And I'm telling you right now, don't give up. I'm telling you right now, don't give in. Get through it. And if you can get through it, if you can work through your pain, I'm guaranteeing you on the other side is a reward. Pain is not permanent. Pain is temporary.
Pain is the high cost of growth. If you want to grow up, you want to be mature, there is no way to do it without pain. And the very thing that discourages you is the very thing that develops you.
No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. The only person that's going to make a drastic change in your life, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the only person that is going to dig you out of your hole is who? You.
You've got to become courageous to stand up within yourself, to face it and step forward.
You're the dictator. You're the captain of your boat, whether you let things affect you in a negative way or a positive way.
You're going to work through this. You're going to get up. You're going to get dressed. You're going to get out. And you're going to do what you've been called to do. You're going to be what you called to be. And you're going to prove that everybody that tried to break you, everybody that tried to kill your dream, you're going to prove all of them wrong. And if you can work through your pain, on the other side is a reward.
Growth is faster and deeper during your darkest days. Through that separation, through that unemployment, through that tragedy, through that loss.
And maybe you've been knocked down in your life and it seems like, hey, the fight is over. It is not over unless you quit.
You take those terrible events in your life and you create a new story of triumph. See, we gotta look our trauma in the face. We gotta embrace the pain and the darkness and allow it to mold us. The dark times are when we build higher, dream harder, push further, love deeper.
It's forming your future. It's pushing you forward.
Don't ever say when you're going through some rough time, I'm going through a really bad, tragic time. No. See, I'm going through a character building experience.
That setback is going to become a comeback.